I accidentally stole $47,000 from my neighbor's porch, and he thanked me for it. Hey Reddit. Throwaway for obvious reasons. This happened 3 weeks ago and my life still feels like a fever dream. I'm 34, divorced, working as a route driver for a local beverage distributor in a mid-sized Midwest city. I make decent money, but after child support and rent on my crappy 2-bedroom apartment, I'm usually eating rice and beans the last week of every month. Nothing glamorous, just normal, tired, everyday life. It started on a Tuesday that felt exactly like every other Tuesday. I got home around 6:15 p.m., dead on my feet, and saw the usual stack of Amazon packages on my neighbor Dave's porch. Dave is the kind of guy who orders something every single day. New golf clubs, kitchen gadgets, mystery boxes from TikTok shops. His porch looks like a fulfillment center exploded on it. Meanwhile, I'm over here praying my $12 Walmart fan doesn't die in the summer heat. That evening, there was one extra package. A big, heavy black box with no label on the side facing me. It was sitting right on the dividing line between our porches, half on my concrete, half on his. The delivery guy must have been lazy. I figured it was mine. I had ordered a new air filter for my truck that was supposed to arrive that day. So I grabbed it, brought it inside, cracked a beer, and opened it on the kitchen table. Inside wasn't an air filter. It was cash. Neat stacks of $100 bills wrapped in plastic, a small ledger notebook, and a cheap Android phone in a cracked case. My heart literally stopped for a second. I counted one stack, $5,000. There were 9 more, 45 grand, plus another 2 grand loose at the bottom. $47,000 in cold, untraceable cash. I sat there staring at it like it was a bomb. First thought, this is Dave's. Second thought, Dave is a 58-year-old divorced insurance adjuster who wears cargo shorts year-round and complains about the price of gas. Where the hell did he get this kind of cash? I almost walked it right back over. But then I remembered something. 2 months earlier, Dave had borrowed my pressure washer and never returned it. He also let his idiot son park in my spot for 3 weeks straight while I was paying for parking tickets. Small neighbor beefs, but they stack up. And honestly, I was exhausted. Life had been kicking my ass for years, so I did the stupid thing. I put the money in a gym bag, hid the empty box in my closet, and waited to see what would happen. The next morning, Dave was losing his mind. I heard him through the wall yelling on the phone, "No, it was supposed to be there yesterday. Yes, unmarked. What do you mean, track it? It doesn't have a fucking tracking number, Kevin." I went to work like normal, heart hammering the entire shift. When I got home, Dave was sitting on his porch drinking whiskey, looking gray. He actually waved me over. "Hey man, you see any packages yesterday, big black one?" I played dumb. "Nah, just the usual. Amazon guy throws everything on my side sometimes, though. Why, something important?" He stared at me a little too long. "Yeah, work stuff. Client paid cash for a job. If you see it, I'll make it worth your while." That night I couldn't sleep. I opened the ledger. It was full of dates, initials, and amounts. It looked like some kind of off-the-book side hustle. Dave had been skimming cash jobs for years, roofing, insurance fraud estimates, maybe worse. This particular drop was supposed to be a consulting fee from someone who clearly didn't want records. I did what any rational, panicking man would do. I started spending tiny pieces of it. First, I paid off my truck note, $8,400 gone in one online payment. Then I took my daughter to the nice mall 2 towns over and let her pick out whatever she wanted for her birthday, instead of the usual $50 limit. I cried in the parking lot when she hugged me, but guilt is a hell of a drug. By day 4, I was paranoid. Every time Dave saw me, he gave me this weird half-smile. I started thinking he knew. Maybe he had cameras. Maybe the phone in the box could be tracked. On day 5, I made my biggest mistake. I decided to return most of it anonymously. I put $40,000 back in the box with a note that said, "Sorry, wrong porch," and waited until 2 a.m. to sneak it onto his porch. I was halfway back to my door when I heard his voice behind me. "Nice try, buddy." I froze. Dave was standing in his dark doorway holding a beer, smiling like a shark. He didn't yell, he didn't call the cops, he just said, "Come inside, we need to talk." I thought I was about to get shot. Instead, Dave poured me a whiskey and told me the craziest story I've ever heard. Turns out Dave wasn't just skimming. He had been running a loose network of guys who recovered money from insurance scams and under-the-table jobs. The $47K wasn't even his. It belonged to a local contractor who was being blackmailed by his own bookkeeper. The bookkeeper had been stealing from the contractor for years and was using Dave as a middleman to move cash quietly. Dave had already spent his cut. He was supposed to deliver the rest the next day, or the bookkeeper was going to rat everyone out. But here's where it gets insane. Dave looked me dead in the eye and said, "Keep the $7,000. I'll tell them the delivery guy stole it. You're just some nobody neighbor. They'll believe it. In return, you help me with one thing." I asked what the one thing was. He needed me to deliver a different bag, this one full of fake cash mixed with real, to a drop point 2 towns over. The real cash would stay with me as payment. He'd blame the whole missing $47K on the thief, me, and the blackmailer would be satisfied enough to keep quiet. I should have said no. Instead, I heard myself say, "What's in it for me besides the $7,000? Dave laughed. 40 more if you pull it off clean, and I'll throw in the pressure washer. The next 48 hours were the most stressful of my life. I wore a hoodie and sunglasses like an idiot. I drove my beat-up truck to a Walmart parking lot at the instructed time. A guy in a silver Tahoe pulled up, took the bag, and handed me an envelope. No words. Just like a movie. I drove home shaking. When I opened the envelope, there was $40,000 cash and a handwritten note. "Tell Dave we're square." I sat in my kitchen with almost $50,000 in front of me again, except this time it was legitimately mine. Dave moved out 2 weeks later. He told the whole neighborhood he got a new job in Florida. Before he left, he dropped off a 6-pack and the pressure washer. "Best neighbor I ever had," he said, winking. "Don't spend it all in one place." I haven't told a single soul until now. I paid off my debts, set up a college fund for my daughter, and I'm quietly looking at buying a small house. I still drive the same route, same truck, same tired face. But every time I see an Amazon package on someone's porch now, my stomach does a little flip. I don't know if this makes me a bad person. I didn't set out to steal anything. But when life drops $47,000 on your porch, sometimes you pick it up, and sometimes the guy you stole from helps you keep it. Thanks for reading my confession, Reddit. Be careful what you order online. TLDR. Mistaken package on my porch turned out to be $47K cash from my shady neighbor's side hustle. I kept some, panicked and tried to return it, got caught, then helped him finish one last shady delivery and walked away with enough money to actually breathe for the first time in years. He moved to Florida and I'm keeping my mouth shut.